Gentleman from South Carolina is recognized for 3 minutes. Without objection, gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to talk about our Constitution and the specific role that it grants this Congress. My constituents back in the 3rd Congressional District of South Carolina know that I carry a United States Constitution with me every day. And the first time I spoke on this floor, it was to read a portion of this great document. Specifically, I read the article that we're talking about today, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 11, the enumerated power of Congress and the Congress alone to declare war. Our founders did not give that right to the executive branch. They invested that responsibility with us. Now, previous Congresses have delegated some of that responsibility with the War Powers Resolution. That's what's being used by this president. But I think that as time has come for us to have the debate about the wisdom of that and the constitutional obligation our founders defined for Congress. Over the past few years, our country has seen a renewed appreciation for the Constitution, a recognition of the wisdom and divine guidance our founding fathers had when they crafted this sacred document. The Constitution lists our rights, these rights which were given us directly by God, but also contains mechanisms to protect our rights from being trampled upon by man. Among the most important of these protections is a separation of powers. Seeing firsthand the tyranny that can arise from a corrupt, centralized power, our founding fathers sought to divide that power, to divide the power of government into 3 independent branches that serves as checks on one another. Mr. Speaker, we in the Congress need to know, what is the national interest at stake in Libya? The President cites humanitarian needs, regional stability, supporting the international community as his justification. I do not believe that these reasons suffice as national security interest. We did not go into Libya with a clear, obtainable objective. The risk and cost do not appear to be fully analyzed. As the President said, we would only be in Libya for days, not months. We've been there days, as a matter of fact. We've been there 73 days. 73 days after we've gotten involved, and we still don't have that answer. We don't know who we're supporting. We don't know whether we have a viable end game. We don't have a congressional declaration of war or an authorization of force. And yet this president chooses to continue to risk American lives, American servicemen and women. He continues to spend that American treasure at the whims of the United Nations. This president should not be able to simply have wars of choice. He said this action in Libya would be limited. Our troops have, once again, as always, performed admirably and done the job the President gave them to do, but we now have to do ours. Mr. Speaker, the Constitution is very clear. Only Congress has the power to declare war. If this Congress allows our President to make wars of choice without the rule of law to guide him, we will be just as guilty in not upholding our constitutional obligation. I yield back the balance.
Gentleman yields back his time. Gentleman from Massachusetts.